cameras, action. Now let's engage in the dialogue. Let me browse through your mind like a catalog. Conscious metaphysics, allow me to break down the specifics. Educate, motivate. If you don't feel free, you can liberate. An LLC is what I'm building, the #1 podcast in the building. So let me slide on up in the Bentley truck in my Versace shirts. They can't get enough of this deep conversation, expansion, elevation. I'll send you a link you can tap in. It ain't quite what I used to do back then. Now I get it on the front and the back end. Multiple money streams keep coming in. Enlightened, empower, evolve. Enlightened, empower, evolve.
Just in time. Greetings, everyone. I'm Luke Bryan Smith, and welcome to Enlightened, Empowered, Evolved. I know everyone's doing well, and everything is unfolding perfectly. I'm excited, especially excited again, because I have an amazing guest who is a returning guest. And just to give you some insight, before I introduce his name, check out the other podcast that I had him on, which I entitled Fatherhood, Masculinity, Empowerment, Growth, after you watch this one. So without further ado, let me introduce to you. First of all, I already gave him his formal introduction on that last show. So I'm just going to put my own twist on it from what I gather from this man. He's a thinker, philosopher, philanthropist, humanitarian, problem solver, spiritual, conscious, and a whole lot more. Just without further ado, I introduce to you Hector Brito. Thanks for coming on the show again, sir. I appreciate you.
What likewise.
Yes,
what a
sir.
beautiful, beautiful introduction. I much appreciated.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I enjoy talking to you, talking with you, engaging in dialogues with you. Like I said, when I introduced you, I can tell that you're a deep thinker. You're a problem solver. You're sensitive to what's around you, from what I gather, and just I'm always looking forward to. I definitely was looking forward today to speaking with you, even though I was running a little bit late, but nobody has to know. Oh, well, they already know now, but but yes, we didn't cover some things last time you were here. So let's just get right into it, man. I just want to, turn you loose, so to speak, and listen to what you have to bless us with today.
Thank you. Thank you
Yes,
so
sir.
much.
Yes, sir.
I just want to start by saying this is the first one after the shift of 2024. So in the Jewish calendar, we shifted months ago, and it's the year 5784. Okay,
Right.
that's called the Jewish calendar. We're in the Gregorian calendar. And
Okay.
so what happens is that at the same time as energies cycle through life, we
Right.
happen to be right here, right now, in what I would call a Joseph year. What I'm going to say, Joseph, I'm talking about that Egyptian dude that he was of Hebrew lineage. That's the Joseph, right? The guy with many, coat with many colors. So for those
Right.
of you that don't understand what I'm getting at is I'm talking about in a metaphysical format that you see, that's all about Joseph was the first beautiful man.
Right.
He was the first rock star, and he shifted the world because of the way he thought about all of it. And so, having a great opportunity to do whatever he wanted, he chose for the betterment of people. And that's a wake up call to all the men that are out there today.
Right.
You
Right.
know, because everybody knows what's right. So why are we pretending that we're victims when all we have to do is take our position and hold the ground? This is not rocket science, man. You follow what I'm saying?
Yes. Yes.
So who are you waiting for? Come on, bro.
Yeah. You're
Who?
right. You're right.
Nobody's showing up, man. You know, it's been 2,000 years, and what people don't understand is number one is that the word man in Hebrew means master. What are
Hmm.
you a master of?
Hmm.
Because you're going to be a master of BS, or you're going to be a master of life. Which one are
Mm,
you?
mm.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
And and if you don't like the results, then all you got to do is change it, because you are the manifestor. You're the one that's full of life. You're right. Men bring from a different dimension, from the space in between. We are capable of bringing a thought, an emotion connected to one particular moment of time, and then we inject that into a woman, and only one survives. But when that happens, there's an explosion of light. We are the
Wow.
ones that do that.
Wow.
We are the givers of life.
Yes, yes.
Okay, one single man is capable of impregnating every available womb, every healthy womb, in less than 1 week. One single man,
Mm,
he can shut down the operation of baby making for more than 2 years.
mm. Right.
We got to understand who we are. So it's not enough just to be a Joseph here. We have to understand that it is up to us to control our desires, our energies, and to be that loving place for children to grow safe, and for women to feel comfortable enough. We ain't victims. We're the ones that are creating the problem. Let's manifest beauty and life.
Mm. Absolutely. Wow. That's amazing, Hector. Just to think about that. And what I gather from that is, yeah, we don't tap into our own power. We don't take the responsibility serious enough. We're just, like you said, what are we waiting for? I mean, we have everything right here, and we do, especially as men, have a responsibility to own up to our power, and to conduct ourselves as such, you know, with these great responsibilities of being the givers of life, and making it safe for, you know not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually, and you know for people around us, for those around
That's
us.
it.
Yes, absolutely.
That's
So
it.
I'm feeling exactly what you're saying, and I knew it. All you have to do is just start talking, and I'm connecting right there with you, man. I already know it. Whatever you decide to talk about, it could just be your random thought, which isn't random. I don't even want to say random, because it's very intentional what you're speaking about, and I understand that.
It is. It is. And we can look at each other's lives, and there's a lot of beauty in it. But now, as when I'm talking about this Joseph here, I'm saying that the opportunity for entry into all that is abundance. Okay, so let me give you a little couple of numbers. The year 5784. 57 stands for abundance. The number four at the very end stands for the letter in the Hebrew language that is the fourth letter, and that's called the Dalet. It sounds like a D, right?
Right.
And so that is represented by a door. So this is an open door year for
Mm,
abundance to come, and we have doubled that abundance, because 2024, right? So Joseph had two sons that were born in Egypt, whose father went to bless him. He said, "These are now my children. You
right.
want more kids? Make your own, but these are mine."
Right.
And so his father came, and when he went to bless him, he crossed his hands like this, right? Like the occipital nerve that goes across from our brain, it crosses to our eyes. The double slit experiment is how you perceive life, right? And so, and he said, and from here on, all the Israel will be blessing by the names of Joseph's sons, which were both Egyptian. They were not Jewish people. Why is this important to understand? Because Israel is not a name, it's a title.
Mm, okay.
He who has fought uh, um, and struggled with the Most High and man and has overcome. That's who Israel is. Any one of you been on a struggle lately? Right? Have you held your ground? Because this is the year where the doors are open for you to just move without fear and operate in your soul's calling, not mine, yours. Whatever your soul call is, the thing that you have had since you were little that you can see when the observer is the only one that's awake, when everybody's gone and you're checking yourself out, you go, that's the one I'm talking to right now.
Right.
I'm talking to that one who knows and has a feeling, right? Because I'm not talking just to you, but we're talking to those people that are really deep inside that have a desire to make a world a better place. That, what are you waiting for? You got it. All you got to do is just operate in it, man.
Mm.
See, Tyson said, in order for you to be the champion, you have to be the champion first.
Hmm. Right. Exactly. And I was speaking to a gentleman. I forgot it slips my mind what his name was, but it was on a recent podcast, and he was focusing on. He elaborated a bit more on what you were just saying about what Mike Tyson said, and it was he was speaking about the law of assumption, and it was basically just saying be who you want to be already. Assume that position right now. You know, don't just push that far off like it's in some other place, because that's who you are. That's who you're becoming. You have that desire for a reason, and like you said, that that intuition, I like to call it, or that spirit. Follow that. Get out of your own way and be who you are designed to be. And
Yeah, and so how do we do that? How do we do that in a really practical sense? What's the one thing that we all have control of and nobody can tell us otherwise? Brother, that's your mouth.
yeah, right,
It's what comes out of it and what you put in it.
right,
Don't talk to me about being this and any kind of complaint if you have no control over your own mouth.
right,
You're not a
right.
man yet. Wake up, grow up, bro. You don't like the way the clothes fit, change the way you eat. You don't like your environment, change the way you
Yeah.
talk. That's
Yes.
it.
Yeah. That's yeah. I had to laugh because I put on I put on another shirt before this segment. I was like, oh man, I don't like the way this fit. This is the slimmer me shirt. I'm like, I got to get back to that. So I put on the bigger shirt. Yeah. So you're absolutely right about that. You're right. There's nobody's fault. It's mine. Change the way you eat.
And
Exercise.
yeah, yeah, and you know what? You don't have to exercise hours upon hours. All
Right.
you got to have is a simple discipline.
Yes.
Okay, and you, if you have the right mindset, you open doors in a way that's tactical. You move stuff with purpose, right? You don't just think about complaining and I'm tired. No, man, you got to grab something, bring it into you.
Right.
And there are mechanics. This is not difficult, okay? Anybody can fast half a day. Anybody, right?
Right.
See, it's what happens to you on the way to success that is what success is all about.
Right. The journey.
You get what I'm saying? It's the journey. And
I
we're like,
get it.
one day when I get to that, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that. That
Right.
one day is here. It's right here, right now, man. Don't
Exactly.
start by thinking big. Why don't you start with the little thing? Control your mouth,
Right.
right? And when you control your mouth, you will control your eyes. When you control your eyes, you will automatically control your ears.
Right.
And then you start to think for yourself and you start realizing that the narrative that's been handed to us is wrong.
Absolutely.
You and I know that the narrative is wrong because of where we've served. We have been mercenary for a company called the United States of America Corporation.
Exactly.
Okay? And look, we know, everybody knows that there is no money. Money's a fiat. Okay. We all know this, and everybody knows the most simple things is, again, I ask people, I asked a friend of mine today, I'm like, hey, bro, if you had to fight for 3 minutes, could you? He's like,
Mm.
yeah, well, I think so. And, I said, okay, then the next time you go to the gym, I want you to put a timer on and go for it and jump up and down, do push-ups, grab a weight, throw it on the floor, and just keep moving. And then when you run out of gas, go and hit the timer and turn it off, and then let me know how many minutes is that. Because that's the only way you really know.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay? So get in the ring, wrap up, and go at it, and tell me how long you can last.
Mm. Yeah. Easier said than done.
It is. So we like to say, I would like to think so. Bro, just because you buy a gun doesn't mean you know how to use a thing.
Mm. Mm.
Okay? Everybody likes to put on their little jewelry, man jewelry, which is a blade, right? And then they put it in their pocket so you can see that big old buckle, right? But do you know how to use it? So I'm not talking about difficult things. And if you don't know how to use it, find somebody that can teach you.
Mm. Right. Right. That's amazing.
Now, how do you make yourself open so that your children want to come to you? Your dogs are happy to see you. Because if you're coming home with anger, you know what you're doing? You're sending an energy before you show up that says, don't talk to me.
Right. Get away from me. Right.
I'm the one creating it, man. It's not her. It's not my kid's fault. They're not disrespecting me. They're trying to get away from me.
Right. People want to get away from what doesn't feel good.
Yeah, yeah. The world is telling you, man, there's always a lesson behind the lesson. Wake up.
Right. Right. And that's very important too, a point that you just made. When things happen, oftentimes we want to place blame and look elsewhere. Not saying that there aren't turn of events that that can affect us, that people in our perception do that is wrong or whatnot. But most of the time we can find the answers inside of our own self. And that's one of the things that I pride myself on doing now, that I've evolved to that point where I can look inside, and when things are going a certain way, looking at what role did I play in this, because you got to look at also common denominators, like, as well. Like, okay, if this certain particular thing keeps happening, then there's something that I need to shift within myself, because I'm the common denominator in this. Although it appears that somebody is doing something to me and whatnot, and that may be true, but what energy am I sending off? What ways am I interpreting what's happening with me? How am I responding or reacting or whatever? So there's always answers, within yourself, and knowing as well, within those answers, you cannot control anybody else, but you can control you and your world, and choose and help to manifest what you want in your life.
Man, that is so on point. You see, we in 2024 are in a totally different zone. We've already gone through the industrial age. We've already gone through the information age. We are now tapping into the artificial intelligence age. And I'm going to
Mm.
tell you what's left. The only age that's left that's untouched is the soul and the spirit age.
Right. Right.
Okay. We are
Yes.
the soul of existence. Humanity is the apex predator of this planet. Everything stops with us. And when it comes to a man and a woman, when it comes to force, we are the apex predator. We are born stronger. Okay. So
Right.
let's accept that and let's not run away from it. And let's not try to hide from it. Let's just
Right.
accept it for what it is. And let's stop. Now we are the ones, because we have the power to be sovereigns, and we can be the ones to sovereignly love people, man. Be
Right.
strong, but be the most incredible, beautiful man that has ever walked the earth.
Right.
Be so attractive that women want to come and see you, right? Think about this. This is what I use with my clients. I'm like, let's imagine that we're looking at a horse, or, and I go through all the detail of there's a silhouette far, far away, and then all of a sudden you let the thing come towards you, and just as it's coming towards you, you're standing there, and this is all imagery, and I tell them, and I walk them through that whole process, and I say, now, tell me, the horse stopped seconds before it ran you over. What were you experiencing? You're looking at the veins and you're looking at the sweat, and everybody says, I felt fear. I felt awe. I said, well, the horse did nothing but what the horse was called to do, which is to eat, to run, and look good.
Right.
That's it. That's all a horse does. So, what is your destiny? What is your purpose? What is your, whatever it is you want to call it? Just be a man, be strong, be beautiful, be attractive, be hard. When people look at you, go, yeah, that's a brother that I'm not gonna mess with. I don't have to talk to him. I just gotta look and go, yep, much respect, bro.
Right.
How's that hard? Okay.
Yeah.
You can see it, and so, but when you talk to them, it should be like somebody just started to open up a place where you could just sit down and shade on a hammock and chill out, because
Hmm.
that is a strong man is a safe man,
Right.
right?
Right. I
Safe.
feel you. I feel you on that one. Right. Yes. Yes. That's amazing. So, you know, what were we talking about last time we were here that we wanted to get into a little bit as far
Yeah.
as,
Tell me.
yeah, I forgot the subject matter was your um something to do with your what you do getting into the soul. I forgot what we were gonna I wanted to ask.
Okay. The helping the evolve the not evolve but elevate the awakened soul.
Yes, something, yes. Yes, I mean you are doing that already.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's exactly it. See, you can't talk to the sleeper because he's already asleep, so leave him alone. So let's only talk to the people that are already awakened, right? Everybody wants to be, oh, I'm gonna awaken this and I'm on that. And but nobody has really defined what that looks like, right?
Hmm.
Because we all want to put titles on it, and then we want to put credentials behind it. And I'm a somatic this, and I'm a, coach of that kind, and
Right.
we got titles upon titles.
Excuse me. Right, right.
And
In your perspective,
so yeah.
in your perspective, give us a few uh a brief, if you can. I mean, I know you can. A brief summary as to what that means to you, that awaken.
Awaken is when you start realizing that you are truly a living soul, and that you're responsible only for your the power of existence within you,
Right,
and there is no such thing as blaming somebody else. It's not your ancestral past, it's not your future this, it's not what your parents did. It's what you decide to do right here, right now.
right.
And every person that comes to you, it's a beautiful lesson that was taught to you. I went
Hmm.
25 years fighting because I wanted to be able to walk into a boxing ring and fight somebody at a professional level.
Hmm.
Um, and I was paralyzed from the neck down, and all I dreamt of every single day is getting back in that ring.
Wow.
And I fulfilled that in February 22nd of 2023.
Hmm.
Okay, I walked in and I fought two men. One was 25 and the other one was 23. Okay,
Right, right.
and and they didn't know anything about my condition. But at the end, those are men that are more than half my age, right? They can
Yeah.
knock somebody out.
Right.
And so they said, for an old man, you are really hard to hit.
Right.
So, you know, it's like that was a moment. The cameras weren't there. Nobody was there. It was all for me.
Mm.
That's what I wanted. And when but you see, it's what I learned how, on the process. And so an awakened soul is somebody who's aware that they are affecting the world with every single action that they take. They're
Wow.
responsible for their dreams.
Wow.
They are responsible for their thoughts. And they are responsible because every time you eat something, you are not evolving, you are elevating it. You're bringing the light out of the things that you consume.
Mm.
You are an elevation machine. That's being awakened. You know what I mean by elevation machine? Not a evolution, an elevation. Everything we touch, bring it to a higher light.
Mm. That's amazing. And especially what really stood out to me, I mean, everything, but the fact that everything that you do has a ripple effect on the entire world. And that, if you really think about that, you will be more aware and more intentional and cautious as well about the actions that you do and how you think and what, like you said, what comes out of your mouth, what goes in your ears, all that, just everything.
Everything's connected. And
Right.
the old people of ancient years, they would sing to the plants and they would introduce their spirit into the growing harvest because they
Right.
would eat that. You feel
Right.
what I'm
See,
saying?
that
They
makes
understood
perfect
this.
sense. Perfect sense. Yes. They would put, good spirit. And that's one of the reasons why, you know, um, I'll say a prayer, when I'm eating, before I eat, just to bless, the spirit, of whatever I'm consuming. And, you know,
Yeah.
yes, to bless that spirit, to eradicate any negative energy, you know, that might have been put into it, and I am aware of that. And I think that's a good practice. But yeah, that reminds me of what you just said. And also I've heard of people, it's even scientifically proven, when you're speaking to plants a certain way or playing certain music, it has an effect on them. So they knew that in ancient times without any scientific study. They knew it. It's because they were basically they weren't in their own way. They were following here the guidance that they were receiving from their own
Right.
self, from the universe, God speaking within in them and through them. And it's amazing. Some
Right.
things that we
You know,
still don't understand today. And I
right.
think we're
Right. But
just
it's
getting back. Yo, go ahead.
yeah, we are.
We're
See,
getting back to that.
intuition comes from intent.
Right.
Okay. In the tent.
Hmm.
Who's
Okay.
living in this tent? Right.
Right.
You know, when my eyes close and shut down, I don't go to bed. I go to dream world.
Right. Right. You're right.
Right. So I'm not shutting down. It's just the body that's shutting down.
Right.
Have you ever had an experience where you hurt so deeply, but there's no physical pain
Mm-hmm.
and you can barely stand that? That's your
Right.
soul,
That's your soul
right?
that's hurting. Hmm.
Exactly. You know, have you ever heard of the double slit experiment?
No.
The double slit experiment was done back in the 40s where they took a signal of light and they sent it through two little slots, okay? And what happened is they expected that if they blacked one, the electrons couldn't go through it because they didn't know how light operated. And what they discovered is that the person who was watching the experiment was changing the molecule behavior of the light.
Hmm.
Light has an intellect. Light has conscious, but it is not conscientious. You and I
Right.
are conscientious.
Right.
There's a consciousness that abarks everything. A rock has conscious, but it's not conscientious, right? A plant has conscious. They all have levels of intelligence, and there's complexity on top of complexity. But when it's all said and done, bro, it's all about how you. What is a word? A word is a vessel by which. What am I doing with a word? I'm inserting my intention into that word,
Into that word. Right. Your intentions, your energy.
right?
Right.
Sometimes we can say that the word fuck is a joke, is something really bad, is something funny, right? We could use it in so many different ways.
Right.
We can use any word with intention any which way we want to. I can say brother, bro, but the intent behind it,
Hmm.
right? You
What is
will
the meaning
feel
that you're
that.
giving to it? What is the intention you're
I'm
giving to
giving
whatever
it.
you're saying? Right. That's the important, the energy you're putting into that phrase or word. Right.
Yeah.
Synchronize.
And if you're lost in consumerism to like a parasite, just eating, 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 I need to have, I need to, then that's exactly what you're projecting out of you,
Hmm. Powerful. Powerful.
right?
And that's going to create your reality being that way. And you're going to be in this cycle and no one to blame.
Exactly. No one to blame. And
Right.
there is no matrix. It isn't God. It it isn't any of those things. It's you.
Right.
Okay, so you were the double slit experiment, double slit one and two. Okay, and you're looking out the double slit, and you're the light, and the light is behaving based upon the intent that you are giving it. The scripture says this, that the eyes are the windows to the
Goes to the
soul.
soul.
Okay,
Right.
but what if it's backwards? The soul emanates through the eyes.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay.
That changes it, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
So it's not me trying to look inside of you. Hey man, are you in there? It's me,
Right. Right.
right? Coming out this way, creating reality.
Although sometimes there have been people that I've encountered in my journey that I am trying to look and say, is there a soul in there? And what kind of soul is in
Been there, brother. Woo, man, no kidding. There
there?
are some souls that you're like, man, don't look at me like that
Yeah,
again.
yeah. Don't look. I don't want to be next to this soul. I don't want to absorb none of that. No, I get it.
Yeah,
But yes, yes, it's all part of the learning process, whatever we encounter. So yes, and we, like you said, just like I just made that example. You said it. What type of energy are we giving off before we come into the house? Some people are giving off a certain vibe, certain energy wherever they go, and you can feel it. Like,
yeah,
it looks empty in
yeah.
those eyes. It looks lost, or
Right, right.
it looks angry, or it looks hurt, or it looks, yeah, just like you said, lost or whatever. So, and you can
Yeah,
see that.
right, right.
You can feel that.
Yeah, let's give the people an answer. Let's give the people a test so that they can go home and try it out for seven
Okay.
days. Okay.
Okay.
If you can repeat the thing 7 days, 7 times, you move into a new octave.
Okay.
Okay. But we're not asking you to do 49 times. All I'm saying, can you do something for 7 days, one cycle, and then analyze to see if it works for you?
Hmm. Okay.
That's all you got to do. So
Like give us an
decide
example. Like
what,
what?
right. So decide what your perfect day looks like,
Okay.
whatever that is. If everything was right and you had everything you wanted to have, what would that day look like when you wake up? And I got mine, and I wake up in the morning and I go through this whole process of seeing her right laying next to me and that beautiful body, and how I get up for doing my ceremonies, and da, 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 da. And then at the end of the day I close off and I go, and tomorrow is going to be the same thing. It's going to be incredibly beautiful.
Okay.
Okay. And write that down and then dare to read it before you go to bed and when you wake up. That's it. 7 days. If you do that twice and then get back to us and tell us if nothing changed, then just throw it away and say, yeah, well, I'm done with it. Tell
Right.
me if your life doesn't change. Tell me if your mood doesn't change. Dare to tell me that all of a sudden you don't no longer feel so heavy. You will feel lighter.
Right.
You will be smiling more often. People are gonna go, what is going on with you? You're a different kind of guy.
Right.
You see, because you cannot create from anger, you cannot create from a place of victimhood. You can only create from a place of elevation. And if you start thinking, all you got to do is 14 times, twice a day, 7 days, and you're done. Experiment is over. Then you can throw it away. You let me know if it doesn't work. That's it. That's if we can do that, because you know what? That's you creating the environment around you, because you just
Intentionally.
gotta read it right. You gotta read it loud enough so that your ears can hear it.
Right.
Don't just read it in your mind. You have to say it out loud enough for your own ears to hear what your mouth is saying.
Right. And there's
That's
a
it.
power in that. And that's just a small example of how powerful we are. And I encourage everyone to do that for 7 days. Write down
Yeah,
the perfect day is
absolutely.
and read it twice a day up on awakening and before you retire in the evening. Amazing, amazing. Yes, so we're down to about 3 more minutes. So yes, yeah, when we're talking, it goes fast because there's so
It
much,
does.
yeah, it's just so much positive energy and consciousness flowing through, these conversations through the ether, through when we're connecting. And that's amazing. And like you said, everything is connected. And I feel that connectedness, especially when I'm engaging in a dialogue and a class um, with someone such as yourself. That it's amazing. So yes, everyone, thank you for watching and or listening. Uh, Obviously, we're going to have another episode here with Hector Brito because what did I tell you before we started this? That this man is a thinker, philosopher, problem solver. It just is what it is. And helping us to elevate us to our own potential that we have. We're all powerful, connected, and we have the answers. And it's plain and simple. No one has the answers for you, but they can help. People like this amazing brother can help you to find your own answers. And that is what it's all about. And I'm so thankful to be here again, once again, sharing the same space with this amazing brother. So thank you. Hit the like button, share, uh, subscribe, hit that notification bell, comments, compliments, questions. Check out the website 333empower.com. And if you think you'd be an amazing guest for this podcast, send an email to 333empower@gmail.com. See you soon. Enlightened, Empowered, Evolved.